Hey guys, welcome back to another one of these. In today's video, I kind of want to show you how I do some of these lightnings that I posted recently. And yeah, it's basically following up on these 2D effects that we've been making. And I thought I could make something similar to that. Maybe not the exact same thing, but yeah, pretty similar thing. And it's pretty straightforward, the actual process of drawing these lightnings. But I think maybe we do something slightly different where we have it interact with an object in this one. So I'm just gonna create like a sphere or something that we can have these lightning effects run over. So let's just make one here. Let's see. Let's lock the transparency of that. We just get a slightly 3D-esque sphere. I'm going to use a gradient tool. Maybe like so. Bit of that. Maybe we give it a shadow. Just another gradient in there. Let's make it full opacity. It's like this. Filter, blur. Gaussian blur, yeah, that'll do. Filter, blur, maybe some motion blur too. There we go. Let's move that up. That's our sphere. Now let's bring out the timeline because we want that for animation. And I created a video timeline, so let's set a frame rate to 24. These lighting effects actually require quite a high frame rate to look alright. I think if you animate on 2s, it's a little, I don't know, it's a little laggy. So let's go for 24. I'm going to use white and let's make a new video layer up here, a blank video layer. Let's put on top of the sphere and here we can animate. So let's just have like a lightning start and run across this sphere. So I will move forward a bit in case we want to add some frames before. We can enable the onion skin. Set your onion skin opacity and stuff here to whatever you want. And let's get going. So let's have it start up here, just like squiggle in some lines. And I find when I draw these lightning shapes, it's kind of good to have a pen pressure tablet, so you can, like a graphics tablet, because you can then kind of go thick and then thin and, you know. And I quite like having a like loose hand when I do this, so that I don't like go like this, you know. You kind of want this to be quite squiggly, so I kind of just let my hand go in the direction it wants. So let's do that, and then you can fatten up some parts of this. Like this maybe it forks somewhere too, like, you know, something like this. And obviously now I just put that straight after this, so maybe we want to add an in-between between those two. I have that on a short command, the in-betweens, but you can always go video layers, new blank frame. So between these two, let's just add like a something like this, and we can start quite loose and then we can refine these and make them look pretty later. So I'm going to add another in-between here. And let's go closer to the top here. Like that. Maybe we erase this and have it sort of come from behind. And maybe even one ahead. And we can maybe, let's do all the main keyframes first, and then we can add some flickery bits and whatnot. And here I'm starting to break it up so that it, you know, so it starts, the shape sort of disintegrating a bit as it hits the bottom here. And let's leave a frame blank and then add a few sparks here at the very end. Let's just see what this looks like so far. So that's quite cool. And we can actually, maybe we add another frame up here. Let's add the onion skin again. Let's drop in another frame between these. Let's have it go high. That won't work. Doom, doom, doom. There, okay. Here's one. Maybe we just leave that blank, actually. Or just have it semi-broken there. Let's see what that looks like. You know, having a few blank frames can add a bit of flickery effect. So let's have another one there, another one there. Let's have one there as well. Maybe that one was too much. Yeah, something like this. So if you want to put some love into this, you can always go in and, you know, make it look even more lightning-esque by really adding like fork lightnings and stuff. So maybe it's touching the orb here, you know. Much. See if I can maybe do something like this. I'm sorry if I'm quiet here. I'm just trying to think what to do here. So thicken this up. This is a bit boring, so maybe we can squiggle it a bit more. But you can really take this, you know, how far as you want it. Let's just say we like this now. You can really go in and clean these up and make them look even more electric, you know. But let's say this is cool. All right, so let's save this guy and then let's go over to After Effects where we can add some cool effects to it. Now I'm gonna go against my own rules actually, because normally what I would do is to, in Photoshop, I would turn off the background, save this, and this is all I'm gonna use. Maybe we do it that way, because you can import the whole project as a composition with all the layers, but that means if I keep adding layers here, it sort of doesn't update in After Effects. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the animation, save this as like a PNG or JPEG or whatever. And now if I hide those and just have the lightning showed here, I can save that. And in After Effects, we can import this as footage. Because if you instead of footage there, select the composition, I can show you. If I do lightning test import as composition, either retain the layer sizes or not, it would import a comp, and then you get all the layers in here, which is fine for this use. If we are happy and done, then this is perfect. But if I now go back to Photoshop and add a layer, let's say I keep adding more lightning strikes on new video layers, they won't come in here. You have to import those separately. So I prefer just having the background or something as a simple image, and then dropping the Photoshop sequence in as footage instead, because then it's always updating. So if I go to, this frame, pop back to After Effects, add a red smiley face here, because that's what everyone wants to have on their animation. Save that, it will be there. So it's super fast to just work back and forth like that. So yeah, let's save that again. That'll be gone. And now let's add some glow to this guy. So we can just go effects, glow. I mean, you also have effects, wherever that is, in stylize, glow. And we can increase the radius a bit. What I'd like to do too is maybe have a duplicate of it, and we can set the color of this. If we fill this with a color before the glow, let's say we make it like electric blue or something, and then we take the lightning, the top one here, we can add a simple choker to that. A simple choker will basically just cut out bits of this. It's basically just crops the matte. So if you have something with alpha and like crop it, it will just eat the edges up, and that gives it these bright highlights, or the core where it's thickest, it gets white, and then it gets kind of bluish, which I think could look cool. You can even duplicate the lower one, maybe add a fast blur to the one at the very bottom, or not. Maybe it's alright without. We can add a fast blur to maybe the top bit. Yeah, that might look cool. You can set that to add. And now we should have a pretty cool effect here. It's a bit slow playback here for some reason. But yeah, that's kind of how I make these lightning effects. Now this is not super pretty, but I hope you get the point. You can play around till you find motion that looks cool. In these other examples that I made, what I find often works well is to have the kind of first motion come in, and then it lingers for a bit and then starts breaking up. So here, it's sort of squashed up, and then it stretches out, hits the ground, and then wiggles a bit, and then starts breaking up. And this one has sort of a circular motion to it, where you can see it sort of rotates out, which looks pretty cool too. But you can be quite random, to be honest. The more flicker, the more kind of chaotic effects you get. So yeah, play around with that. These reflection with just an upside down version with a bit of a displacement map on them. But yeah, hope that's helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.